Hey guys, King of Charmanders here. Alright, so I did a holiday early analysis before, but that was with the generated rankings from before Kalos Pokemon came out, etc. So this is with Kalos Pokemon integrated because Kalos Pokemon actually have an impact on your Holiday Cup meta. So this is just an overview real quick. As you see here, Holiday Cup will run from Monday, December 28th to Monday, January 4th. So it's just a week long from 1 p.m. PST, GMT 8-8, and only Pokemon that, well, okay, so I'm just gonna basically like put it out for you. So for this week you have 3 options. You have Master League, you have Premier Cup. Actually, you have 4 options: Master League, Premier Cup, Master League Classic, where you're only allowed to have level 40 max unlimited CP Pokemon for that league, and then you have Holiday Cup. If you don't want to deal with the level 40 madness, or if you're good at Premier Cup but you're scared about the level 50 meta, do Holiday Cup. Holiday Cup is Great League. Holiday Cup, you probably have a lot of Pokemon you already powered up, so you don't have to invest in newer Pokemon or beyond level 40 Pokemon. So here's the official rankings from pvpoke.com. Again, if you would like to donate, please do so. The human being that creates this open source website for us is absolutely amazing, and the donation really does go a long way, especially for someone that helps me and so many other battlers out. So here we have the official, like I said, Holiday Cup rankings. As you see here, it's very interesting because a lot of Pokemon that you see in like Open Great League or from like the Holiday Cup, or not from the Holiday Cup, from the from just various Go Battle League Pokemon, or even the Kanto Cup, etc. A lot of Pokemon you used before, or you've seen before, like Holiday, like Halloween, Kanto, etc., you're gonna see in this cup. So it's really, you should have some experience if you played the Kanto Cup. If you played the Halloween Cup, etc., you should know how these Pokemon destroy you, and the other way around. So you should be at least semi-prepared. Now, the interesting about the Holiday Cup meta is that it's very similar to Sylph Sunrise. No, seriously, it's like almost the exact same thing. For those of you that don't know, Sylph tournaments have a limited meta as well. And Holiday Cup and Sylph Sunrise's cups are very similar as far as what you can use, what you can't use. So if you do Sylph, and you did do Sunrise, guess what? You already have an edge over everyone else. So as you see here, Altaria takes number 1 as overall. Now, it's because the burb is stored. As you notice, there's a lot of fighters here. A lot of fighters and ground type users, so it's going to be really interesting because Altaria being at number 1 means you're probably going to see a lot of people use Ice, and also Charmers are allowed like Wigglytuff. So yeah, it's going to be the meta is going to be a little chaotic because there's additional typings to this compared to Sylph Sunrise. So because of that, when you add something to a meta, it's like really, it gets even more annoying because you have more possibilities, more things counting each other. It's annoying, okay? Anyways, Altaria overall is number 1. You probably already have one built, or if you've been doing GBL since like the preseason, you probably have one. It's very powerful. As you see it as the lead or closer, it's extremely strong. And Dragon Breath is the most powerful fast move in the game as far as pure damage. So that's why it's so strong. Now I'm going to go over the top 5 for each position. I'm not going to go too deep into everything because like, I'm going to do an analysis for Holiday Cup for each individual Pokemon. I'm going to start making Holiday Cup content now so that you can be really comfortable with what you want to use 3 weeks from now. Because 2 weeks doesn't seem like a while, but it's going to come really quick. And then you're going to have to, and I want to make sure you know a little bit about each Pokemon. Because this is any meta that's condensed like this is diverse and there's different things you use versus an open meta. Anyways, number 2 is Vigoroth. Vigoroth is the best safe switch in the Holiday Cup. And factually know why. Because Body Slam does heavy damage. Counter overall. Counter users here rank very highly. As you see. Obstagoon, Vigoroth, what else? Vigoroth, what else is here? That's, well, those are the top, but still, 2 counter users are still very, very high. And the reason being is because counter overall is the most powerful move in the game as far as value. As far as, I'd say balance. So it gives you a ton of energy, it does a decent amount of damage, and fighting just covers so many typings that it's just so strong. And combined with Vigoroth's damage output with Body Slam and Bulldoze coverage as a ground move, it really does wreck as the number 2 in overall and the best switch in the Holiday Cup. In fact, I'm not going to be surprised if you see a lot running around because Vigoroth is a very comfortable mon in this meta. As you see here, you beat Obstagoon, you beat other fighters, you beat Diggersby, you beat normal types, you even beat Stunfisk. You also beat Abomasnow. Well, Ice is weak to fighting. Now, you kind of have to be careful because even though you have that, Alolan, Marowak, etc., Skarmory, Altaria, these aren't bad matchups. The funny thing is, despite all of the ratings aren't too strong except for Skarmory, but there are ways you can flip these. Like, if a Skarmory has chip damage, you can beat it with Vigoroth with Energy Lead. Alolan, Marowak, if you land a Bulldoze, it gets really sweaty. Altaria, you can beat Altaria if you are ahead in energy and you can body slam it to death. So there's a lot of ways out. That's why Vigoroth is the best save switch. If you are really good with Vigoroth, you're gonna like it in the Holiday Cup. Diggersby XL. This is where a level 50 Pokemon kind of wrecks really hard. So the reason why Diggersby is so powerful is because Fire Punch Earthquake. It's like a mini Groudon. So I'm gonna call it mini Groudon. So mini Groudon is really, really powerful against a lot of typings. As you see here, it absolutely destroys its matchups. No, literally does. Like, dang. Like, bro. Now, you do get walled by a few things. A good example is Altaria and Lapras. Now, Lapras, you technically don't wall Lapras, but, like, it's like the surfs hurt a lot. So if Lapras has energy lead, even though Diggersby is thick, you kind of have to shield. Well, technically, it's not a wall, but it just really sucks if you face a Lapras with energy. Abomasnow is really rough as well because it does resist Mud Shot, and Fire Punches do super effective damage, but you still lose against it because guess what? Ice types. Ground is weak to ice. Guess what Abomasnow has? Guess what Abomasnow, when you vote for Abomasnow, do you know what he throws at you? He throws weather balls. And these balls go hard. And they hit really hard too. Anyways, these are its weaknesses here. Diggersby is a really interesting archetype. As you see, it's the #1 attacker. It puts an insane amount of pressure on your opponent. Mostly because of Mudshot. As you see, Mudshot really does and pressures very hard in this meta, and it's also an incredible lead. Diggersby is also at level 50, able to flip a lot of matchups. Its level 40 component does it. That's why it shoots up from number 16, as you see here, all the way up to number 3. So it's a monster. Number 4 is Obstagoon. Obstagoon is very popular. The Kiss Fighter Dark Normal type thingy is extremely powerful. If you get the boost, you are either going to be the one loving it because you got boosted, or you're going to hate it because your opponent boosted. Anyways, it's very, very powerful. A lot of these matchups with the boost can flip just because the boost is that strong. So Obstagoon is a very good choice in here. You're not going to run Gunk Shot though. You can for Wigglytuff, because I can see Wigglytuff being popular in this meta as well. Wigglytuff covers, as you see, Wigglytuff beats a lot of the top meta picks. So, and Wiggly with shields is just really annoying. So, just keep that in mind. You might see Mr. Wiggles a lot. Mr. Wiggles going wiggle a lot. Especially if nobody has like a digger, like if you don't have these mons built, which it's unlikely because it's been out for a while, so you should be alright. Anyways, like I said, Obstagoon is very powerful. Again, very strong matchups against a lot of top meta picks, including Diggersby XL, just because counter damage does hurt. And if you get the boost, it sucks. Well, good for you, bad for your opponent. And one of the I think the spice picks in here is probably going to be Alolan Graveler. Alolan Graveler's kind of bad, mostly because the steel typing really limits it. Yes, it's the most powerful lead. However, the reason why it kind of sucks is look what it loses against. Vigoroth, Obstagoon, Stunfisk, Diggersby, Lantern. It loses against all... counter users are probably going to be very popular in Holiday Cup, so you probably... Yeah, it's going to be really... It's going to be really annoying. So, it is the #1 lead, however, mostly because it covers top meta picks. You have strong matchups against top meta picks. However, as you see, if you hard lose against a lot of like top meta picks. As you see, Vigoroth, Obstagoon, especially Stunfisk and Diggersby, those have really high ratings. So counter users are going to destroy you. Stunfisk, Diggersby, etc. And Volt Switch is kind of slow. So just keep that in mind. You're gonna... Now, the good thing about Alolan Graveler is that Rock isn't really... Like, there's nothing in this meta that really walls the crud out of Rock. Rock is... Unless it's, like, Magnezone or another, like, Steel typing, etc. As you see, the top 10, none of them, like, hard resists Rock types. So Rock Blast is going to put a lot of pressure here. That's why it's the #1 lead. So, in my opinion, kind of spicy. A little spicy... Because other than being in the lead, and it's not a great switch, but it still closes out very well. So, like I mentioned, kind of very interesting. Now, it's going to suck if you see a fighter, but very, very interesting. Alright, so I'm not going to go too deep on the leads, closers, switches, etc. But I'm going to just cover them real quick just to show you why, and then do a quick analysis on them. Because, like I said, I'm going to be making plenty of Holiday Cup content. So, I will make a video on the best leads, closers, and switches for the Holiday Cup. Okay? So, you don't have to worry about it. So, the #1 lead is going to be Alolan Graveler, like I mentioned, just because of the charge move pressure, and like I said, nothing really like Hard Wall, Stone Edge, and Rock Blast. Like, Rock type is very, like, neutral, or it hits really hard in this meta. Now, you do lose hard against a few things, so just be careful of that. Electivire, just because of Wild Charge. Alolan Marowak, because of its Generalism. Bone Club and Shadow Bone hurt a lot. And like I said, Wild Charge users are very high in this meta, because just like the reason for Alolan Graveler, how Rock isn't there's not a lot of things that really, like, neutralize Rock. Same thing with Electivire. Because Altaria, it does neutral damage to Altaria because Flying is weak to flying, but Dragon resist Electric. So Wild Charge users run supreme in the lead, and Alolan Graveler and Alolan Marowak. In the closing scenario, Regice is actually the #1 closer, which is really interesting. Like, Frosty the Snowman. Just kidding. That's fun. Like, it's really, it's an iceberg, okay? It's not a snowman, it's a freaking iceberg. I'll do an analysis on Regice itself, but it's gonna be really interesting. But as you see, closers, Wild Charge users, Wild Charge KOs so many things with no shields. That's why Wild Charge users, above all metas, are really, really powerful. And as, like, Frostless is also, just because of Frostless's damage and pressure. Also, surprisingly, Lantern is also very powerful because it's thick, but also it charges very quickly, and it has great coverage moves. As far as your switches go, your switches will be your Vigoroth. Viggy Boy is the #1 safe switch, and like I said, played expertly, it's very, very safe in this meta, outside of getting locked into counter users. So Viggy is very, very good. Frostless is also very powerful in this meta because of its pressure, etc. And it's going to force shields from your opponent for sure. Regardless of what your opponent has, there's not a lot of things that really punish Frostless super hard. It's going to hurt if it has energy lead. So you're going to get a shield, or you're going to get switched with Frostless if you play it well. Or if you can get, or you're going to force shields or switch. Either one. Obstagoon's also a very powerful switch, especially if you get the boost. If you get the boost, matchups flip. So, Obstagoon, Goon. And you have Snorlax. Good thing is, Snorlax, even Galvantula is a great safe switch in this meta. Galvantula is very powerful because, like I mentioned, there's not a lot of things don't really check each other. This is a very diverse meta. So you don't have a lot of things that actually, like, check each other. So, yes, you have hard losses, etc., but there's a lot of good safe swaps here. And above all, this cup is very cheap because a lot of these Pokemon you probably either already have powered up, or you have one waiting in your box or storage ready to power up. Alright, team building. I'm not going to go too deep into the team building because, like I said, I'm going to do a video on each one. So, as far as team building goes, though, like I said, you probably have a lot of these mons available. So, you don't have to spend a lot of dust, which makes the Holiday Cup much more worth it, in my opinion, than doing Masters or anything, or than doing Masters or Masters Premier. You don't have to worry about the rest of the meta, and you have these mons available, and it's very open, diverse, and it's not so hard count. It's not super, like, RPS, or not, well, you're not gonna, the RPS isn't gonna hit you as hard as it would in Masters. So, yeah. As you see here, these two core, I put the #1s together. Altaria is a great lead, Vigoroth safe switch, Frostless closer. As you see here, coverage, bulk, safety, consistency, very safe, very consistent. As you see here, wait, hold on. Oh, whoops. No. That's why it rates so low. Okay, that's the overall great lead. I'm like, why is it rate so low? I'm like, oh. Okay, there you go. See? Very good team. Very safe, very consistent. Bulk, coverage, as you see. Frostless and Vigoroth. You can do a double safe switch here. For a lot of things like switch or like cover each other. So I like Vigoroth a lot, in my opinion. Just because, like I said, very safe and super high output damage. As you see here, there's a lot of combinations you can use in here. You don't like Frostless, but you like Wild Charge users? Guess what? Let me put Obama in here. You put Obama in here, guess what happens? You put Obama, see, very good, very high, still high overall. You still cover a lot of the meta. For example, Altaria of Vigor beat that, and then Obama Snow does a lot of coverage for you. Now, if you like safety, you can put Lantern in here as well. That's why I like this. I really like when I first took a look at holiday meta. I was like, wow, this is like Sunrise, and there's a lot of safe things. So very nice meta. As you see, Lantern, Vigoroth, Altaria is an incredibly powerful team, covering a lot of your bases. Actually, everything covers each other. I might actually think about using this team. That's a very interesting team. Anyways, like I said, see how Altaria, Vigoroth, a lot of things do cover each other and will give you a lot of good things. So I'm not gonna go too deep in team building, but I would look at the rankings for right now, like go into it, take like 5 minutes, look into what you have, and then just prepare a little bit. You've probably already played a lot of Pokemon that you already have these built for, so you should be used to using them, etc. So don't worry too much about like things. But this is like I said, there's a lot of compositions here that do very well. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. All right, technical summary. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like it, please like and subscribe. Again, the Holiday Cup will run alongside Master League and everything. If you do like Master League, you can play Master League Classic. I don't recommend you play Master League or Premier just because level 50 Pokemon are allowed. So you're going to have to go through a lot of pain if you do play those leagues. But you have options. And like I said, the Holiday Cup, as you saw here, I'm going to go start making Holiday Cup content for each Pokemon, save switches, etc. And a lengthy team building video just because one of my friends pitched an idea to me. No one really has, other than like PvPoke who does his like weekly, there's not really like a budget kind of thing there. So I'm gonna do a budget team. I'm gonna do a lot of content for Holiday Cup in the upcoming weeks. Because what's gonna happen is that Holiday Cup is only a week, but later on, after Holiday Cup and after Master League, all 3 weeks are gonna come back for a week. January 4th to 11th. And there's like, stay tuned for details on Go Battle League Cups to be featured on second. So the second half of Season 6 is going to have Go Battle League Cups. So we're going to have more specialized cups for the second half of Season 6. So for now, we're going to work with the information we have, and then I'll analyze everything else later. But like I said, Holiday Cup is fun. You probably have Pokemon built for this cup, so it's not too expensive, and a lot of things do work out. If you played Halloween, if you played Kanto, you got a lot of Pokemon, you know these Pokemon, you can use them in this cup, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So I do recommend you play this. Again, I'll be making more content for Holiday Cup in the upcoming weeks, so stay tuned for that, and I will see you guys on the next video.